Some of the smartest people you know are terrible with money. They can solve complicated problems. They can build successful careers. They can understand difficult ideas faster than everyone else. But somehow, they still make financial decisions that keep them broke. They earn more, but spend more. They know they should invest, but keep waiting. They understand debt is expensive, but still use it. And sometimes, they make these mistakes while knowing exactly what they're doing. So why does intelligence not automatically create wealth? Because being smart and being financially rational are two completely different things. Your brain isn't designed to maximize your net worth. It's designed to protect you, reward you, and help you make quick decisions. And those instincts can become dangerous when they're applied to money. Here are 7 psychological reasons why smart people can make surprisingly bad financial decisions. 1. Overconfidence. Smart people often trust their ability to figure things out. And that's useful in almost every area of life. But with money, confidence can become overconfidence. Someone learns a little about investing and suddenly thinks they can predict the market. Someone gets a high-paying job and assumes they'll always be able to earn more. Someone makes a few successful financial decisions and starts believing they can't make a bad one. The problem is that financial markets don't care how intelligent you are. You can be highly educated and still make terrible investment decisions. You can understand economics and still panic when markets fall. You can read dozens of books about money and still spend emotionally. The smartest financial decision is often admitting, I don't know what happens next. Instead of trying to predict everything, focus on what you can control. Your spending, your savings rate, your debt, your investment strategy, and your consistency. Intelligence becomes useful when it's combined with humility. 2. Instant gratification. Your brain wants rewards now. That's not a character flaw. It's human psychology. Imagine you have $500. You could invest it and potentially benefit years from now. Or you could spend it on a new phone, clothes, restaurants, entertainment, or a weekend trip. The spending gives you an immediate emotional reward. The investment doesn't. That's the problem. Your brain can easily understand the math of compound growth. But understanding something intellectually doesn't mean your emotions will cooperate. You know saving is good. You know investing can help build wealth. But your brain keeps asking, what can I get right now? This is why financially successful people often build systems instead of relying on willpower. They automate savings. They automatically invest. They separate spending money from long-term money. They make the smart decision before temptation appears. Because if every financial decision requires a battle with your brain, eventually your brain will win. 3. Loss aversion. Here's something strange about human psychology. Losing $100 often feels worse than gaining $100 feels good. This is called loss aversion, and it can seriously affect financial decisions. Imagine you invest $5,000. A few months later, your investment falls to $4,000. You panic. You sell everything. The loss becomes real. Then the market eventually recovers. But you're no longer invested. Your fear protected you from seeing more temporary losses, but it also prevented you from participating in the recovery. Smart people aren't immune to this. In fact, intelligence can sometimes make it worse. Because intelligent people can create very convincing explanations for emotional decisions. They might say, the market is too risky. I knew this was going to happen. I'm protecting my capital. But underneath those explanations might simply be fear. The solution isn't to ignore risk. It's to understand the difference between temporary volatility and permanent loss. Good financial decisions aren't always the decisions that feel safest today. Sometimes they're the decisions that make sense over a much longer period. 4. Lifestyle inflation. Now imagine you get a big raise. Your first thought is, finally, I can afford a better life. So you upgrade your apartment, then your car, then your phone, then your vacations, then your restaurants, then your subscriptions. None of these decisions seems crazy individually. That's what makes lifestyle inflation so dangerous. Your income increases, your expenses increase, and somehow, your financial position barely changes. You expected the raise to make you wealthy. Instead, it simply made your lifestyle more expensive. Smart people fall into this trap because they can justify almost anything. They don't say, I'm wasting money. They say, I work hard. I can afford it. I deserve it. And maybe they can afford it. But there's an important question they often forget. Can I afford it without sacrificing my future? When your income increases, you don't have to spend every extra dollar. Let some of your income improve your lifestyle. But let another portion improve your financial position. That's how a raise can actually move you toward wealth. 5. Confirmation bias. Here's another trap. You make a financial decision. Then you start looking for information that proves you were right. You buy a stock. Suddenly, every positive article about that company gets your attention. You ignore the warnings. You defend the investment. You explain away bad news. Why? Because your brain doesn't just want information. It wants validation. Smart people are especially vulnerable because they're often good at constructing arguments. They can find 10 reasons why their decision makes sense. But being able to defend a decision doesn't mean the decision is correct. One of the most powerful financial questions you can ask is, what evidence would prove me wrong? Don't only search for information that supports your decision. Actively look for information that challenges it. If your idea survives serious criticism, your confidence becomes more valuable. 6. Social comparison. Humans naturally compare themselves with other people. But money makes this dangerous. You see someone driving a better car. You see a friend buying a house. You see someone on social media traveling constantly. And suddenly, you feel behind. So you spend money to catch up. Maybe you upgrade your car. Maybe you buy expensive clothes. Maybe you take a vacation you can't comfortably afford. The problem is that you're making financial decisions based on someone else's life. And you don't know their full financial situation. That luxury car could be financed. That vacation could be paid for with debt. That expensive lifestyle could be consuming almost their entire income. You're looking at the appearance of wealth, not the underlying wealth. Real wealth is often boring. It's money invested quietly, debt that has been eliminated, an emergency fund nobody sees, assets growing in the background. So instead of asking, why don't I have what they have? Ask, is my financial position stronger than it was last year? That's a comparison you can actually control. 7. Analysis paralysis. This might be the most surprising trap. Smart people often want to make the perfect decision. Which investment is best? Which bank account should I choose? Should I invest now or wait? Which strategy will produce the highest return? Which financial book should I read first? So they research and research and research. Months pass. Nothing happens. The desire to make the perfect decision becomes an excuse for making no decision. But wealth usually isn't built by making one perfect decision. It's built through thousands of reasonably good decisions repeated for years. Saving consistently. Avoiding unnecessary debt. Investing consistently. Increasing your income. Controlling lifestyle inflation. Learning from mistakes. You don't need perfect information to start improving your finances. You need a reasonable plan and the discipline to follow it. The intelligence trap. So here's the uncomfortable truth. Being intelligent can help you make money, but it doesn't automatically teach you how to manage money. You can be brilliant and impulsive, successful and financially careless, highly educated and deeply emotional about money. Because financial success requires more than intelligence. It requires behavioral control. You need to recognize when your emotions are influencing your decisions. You need to know when confidence has become overconfidence. You need to recognize when fear is pretending to be logic. You need to recognize when lifestyle upgrades are quietly destroying your savings. And you need to understand that sometimes the smartest financial decision is incredibly boring. Save consistently. Invest consistently. Avoid unnecessary debt. Don't try to impress people. Think long-term. And don't let every emotional reaction become a financial decision. The real secret. If you're smart but still struggling financially, don't assume you need more financial information. You might already know enough. You may know that you should save. You may know that you should invest. You may know that unnecessary debt is expensive. You may know that lifestyle inflation is dangerous. The problem might not be what you know. The problem might be what you repeatedly do. And that's good news. Because changing your behavior is often more powerful than learning another 100 financial facts. You don't need to become a financial genius. You need to become consistent. Because wealth isn't usually created by one brilliant decision. It's created by ordinary good decisions repeated for a very long time. So the next time you're about to make a financial decision, don't just ask, "Is this a smart decision?" Ask, "Is this an emotional decision that I'm trying to make sound smart?" That question could save you more money than another financial book ever will. Because intelligence can help you understand money, but self-control is what helps you keep it. If you want to understand the psychology behind money, wealth, and financial behavior, subscribe to Money Secrets. Because sometimes, becoming wealthier doesn't require earning more. It requires thinking differently.